Oscar wants to know, are all three of the top tight ends in this year in fantasy football worth a second-round pick in your draft? Matt, because you were talking about Travis Kelce, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Yeah, he's clearly number one. But, boy, I have Kittle third, and I'm scared to death that I'm selling Kittle short. I mean, I think he's the best football player of all of them. He's in a great situation. It's only injuries that worry me. But to answer this question, I don't know if you guys agree, but I thought the MVP of fantasy football last year was Kelce. So, I mean, it's like having another starter. I mean, it's very costly. I'm not willing to pay the Kelce price. I'm willing to pay the Waller, Kittle, end of the second, maybe super early third price. But that's about as rich as I can get.
Vinny.
Yeah, I think with tight end, it's a little different this year. I mean, everyone used to say, get your tight end early or get him late. But the middle is pretty attractive this year when you look at Kyle Pitts and TJ Hawkinson right past that. I mean, Kyle Pitts is going to dominate after Calvin Ridley, the targets there in Atlanta. And TJ Hawkinson, are they really going to make Amon-Ra St. Brown the go-to guy in the middle of the field? I don't think so. So Hawkinson's going to have a big role here. And again, with all these guys, it's a durability risk. Tight end is a rough position to play. George Kittle has had more injury in his past than the others, but I think what's great about tight end is you can almost think about it in every round. You could think about Travis Kelce at the end of the first round. You could think about Darren Waller or George Kittle in the second, third, somewhere in that range. But every round, basically through this draft, there's a tight end that you have to think about. I think it makes the drafts all the more interesting. So I don't think you have to necessarily use a second round pick on a top three tight end because there's some depth there, but don't get too deep here. I think maybe the cutoff might be like the Tyler Higbee, Dallas Goedert, maybe Noah Fant. I'm a little nervous about that, but that's maybe your cutoff because it gets a little dicey. You got Rob Gronkowski in that crowded situation, Mike Gesicki. They added a bunch of targets there in Miami. So don't sleep on tight end too long. There's just a little bit more depth here where you can feel comfortable about maybe top 6 to 8 here this season.
Vinny, I will say that if Darren Waller is available, for me, it's like anytime after pick 15, 16, I feel totally comfortable drafting him because over the last 7 games of the season, he had 765 yards and 5 touchdowns. I really feel like he figured things out with the Raiders, and I think we're only starting to see his potential. So if he's somebody who can give you 1,300, 1,400 yards in the season, and he's the number one receiver on that team, like he's going to get fed targets. I have no problem at all taking him late second round, certainly early third round if he's there.